Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. It's Chris and D-Palm here. You guys know what time it is. It's time to recap Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 21, The Return. Coulson and the team's victory in the framework is short-lived as an even deadlier enemy looms against them all. Alright, so again, I had a screener Tuesday night. I don't know why, but I did it again. I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. first.
Dude, what is wrong? I was about to make fun of Rod. What is wrong with you?
Bruh. I watched Agents...
All right, look, I'm doing this for the last time. If you're new to the podcast, welcome aboard. You're coming to a great show. We got a great next show to talk about. If you watch this show on Tuesdays and you also watch The Flash, I do not care what happens. Do not watch this one first. We've warned everyone before. Chris has done it at least twice this season.
I've done it twice in a row now. And it just...
I can't... Are you okay?
You know,
your head? What the hell's going on here?
You know what it is? You know what it is? The screeners I went to were terrible. So, like, and I'm not thinking that The Flash is going to be bad, but it's like, when you've been in something that's so terrible, you need something in the opposite direction. So I needed something in the opposite direction. And actually, you know what? In the last one, the first time I did it, it wasn't even something terrible. It was Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was excited. So I was like, well, I gotta watch, carry on and watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which, by the way, isn't it interesting that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. dropped last week, had no real connection to Guardians of the Galaxy?
At all?
They said, fuck it. We don't even need it. This week, it was that fucking stupid-ass King Arthur movie. God, this shit is all horrible.
It looks terrible.
It is. Dude, do you know how many people have come to me?
I'm so glad I don't do reviews.
Do you know how many people have asked who have said, "Oh man, I really liked it." The movie, me and Fina went into the movie knowing it was going to be terrible. It's worse than we thought.
Yo, okay? I had a lot of people tell me it was good.
Do not trust those people
I don't
ever
trust
again.
No, I don't trust them.
Oh my God!
I'm not going to see Guy Ritchie's King Arthur starring Charlie Hunnam. None of those words are going to get me in the
None of those words make sense.
None of them.
A Guy Ritchie movie with a guy who can't really act. Like, it's just, oh. Anyway, so I leave frustrated. So I come home, and at that time, again, by the time I come home, it's literally 10 o'clock. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is already on, so it's like, well, fuck it. I'll do
There's an easy way to do things and a right way to do things, Chris. You chose the easy way.
And I did, and I paid for it because I watched this episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and normally even when I do that, I go, oh, fuck it, okay, let me watch Flash and get it out of the way because I don't want to be spoiled for Flash. Dude, I watched this episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I didn't give a shit. I didn't watch Flash until this morning.
Yo, nigga. So I was on Twitter last night because I did a live tweeting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Rob was doing it too. And he was like, all right, now I'm going to watch Flash and DVR. I said, never watch it. And then, I let him live. Then he tweeted, man, I probably shouldn't have watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't give a fuck about this. And I was like, I tell everyone every week not to do this shit. He's like, damn, man.
But honestly, man, look, I think I enjoyed the Flash episode so much more because I got a good night's rest in between. Because I slept on it. Like, because here's the thing. I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last night and was like, I'm not going to do this to Barry Allen. No, I'm not going to do this to him because there's no way you can follow this up. So I'm not going to.
Barry deserves better.
He does, and you know what he did? Because you know what, it was actually a good Flash episode, and we got season 1 Barry again, and it felt good. But good God, I would not have been able to pay attention if I watched it last night. Man, this show is fantastic, man.
I'm done saying shit.
This show is fucking fantastic.
That era's over. I'm done talking about the show.
It's and we only got one more episode left. Like,
So that also tells me that they knew they had season 5 way before they announced it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on the official announcement, but the news is
they announced it at the end with like Joss Whedon doing a crotch shot with the camera, but like they know because there's too many balls in the air to close out in an hour.
Yeah, but then again, knowing this show, that's just a challenge. So, challenge accepted.
Yeah, I say that the show smokes a cigarette, puts it out, and says, "Watch this." Oh my! I'm exhausted thinking about talking about this episode.
Like, there's so much in here. You get Anton, he's duplicated himself, and he's reading the Darkhold, which can't be good.
Fuck Anton. My hand has a shield.
Oh yeah, we're going back. Oh yeah, the shield is back. I remember the first time we saw that, and I was like, oh man, that's really cool. Guess we'll never see that again. Wrong.
Chris, he cut that nigga's face off. Like it was nothing.
Oh my god. So good.
I think I cheered out loud. That was amazing.
I literally have the shield is back in my notes.
I'm gonna let you lead the way, but this shit here, like, I hope people can really appreciate what's happening on Tuesdays at 10 p.m.
And again, I remember when they first announced the 10 p.m. time slot, we were like, I don't know about that. But listen, that 10 p.m. time slot allowed them to do some things that they weren't doing at 8 or 9 o'clock.
Yes.
And
we don't get faces cut off at 8 p.m.
Shoot. I mean, hell, we don't get people used as human shields and shut up like that, a couple episodes ago. Yeah, well, shit, it was last week, wasn't it?
See? This shit is crazy, Chris.
God damn, man. Like, it's just, oh, man, like, there's no wasted moments. They do so much with so little, and so they can cram so much in, but it doesn't feel like it's crammed in. Like, it's all there. You get, like I said, you basically, you get this moment where you have Coulson explaining to May everything she's missed, and then you realize, oh my God, like they basically give you a recap of the beginning of the season, because at the end of the episode, they bring back Robbie, so you need to remember what happened at the beginning of the episode. So they basically find a way to give you a narration of what happened at the beginning of the episode, which is basically to catch May up, because she was duplicated and has missed half the fucking season.
It's also like really jarring to be like, oh my God, you've been gone for fucking ever.
Yes.
Meg has been gone for most of the season.
She missed
all the craziest shit, and she was there for the guy with his head on fire.
Right. So it's like she missed the entire Aida arc because it wasn't really her, and.
Yep.
And part of the end of, because she didn't know what happened with Robbie and them, and his Uncle Eli.
Yes, how that ended.
Right. So it's like,
I was like, oh my God, you've been gone forever.
Like when Anton shows up, she goes, "Who's this guy?" It's like, you missed a fair amount, May, but you can go ahead and shoot him. Like, it's like, oh my God, like that's right. She doesn't even know who the Russian is. It's just like, but again, the way they did it is to then go and connect where we're at now with what happened at the beginning of the season, because we've all been saying, man, so much has been happening, I can't remember it all.
That was kind of like it was very much a stunt move to be like, here's everything we've done.
And it was just great. It was great to get that conversation with May and Coulson locked in that room and just hearing all the different things going on. Robots, that's a common occurrence now. Like I said, you miss a fair amount.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, damn, you did miss a fair amount.
You did miss a fair amount.
And then she goes, you must have spotted the decoy right away. Yeah, because you're not robotic at all.
I thought that was mean. Yeah, say all that shit.
Oh man, but then you also bring in the whole thing with Coulson and his feelings for May, and the fact of how far he had gotten along with that May robot. All the way down to, when she goes, did I make a move on you? And he's just like, you can just see him, like, you can see the sweat on his brow forming, just like,
you almost hear him thinking, lie.
Right. And then when he finally goes, I haven't been truthful with you, I did drink that bottle. And she goes, you son of a, like, that's literally one of my favorite moments in the movie, in the show. Because it was just great. Like, oh God, that was great. All right. So, oh man. Yeah, but again, I like having the May, Coulson moments, because again, it reminds you of everything that's happened this season. It puts the full weight of everything that's going on, and brings everything together. Because again, we've been living in the framework for most of this back half, and so now it brings everything together again with this. Even down to small things, because you go back to the framework. Remember when you think about what they were doing within humans and how they were capturing them and testing them and things like that, you didn't find out, oh, it was Hydra collecting powers in the framework to give to Aida. She literally, I said it last week, they turned her into a Super Skrull.
We said, because they're like, oh, she's got powers. My question all week was, how many powers?
Yep, Super Skrull.
Exactly what she is.
Yep. We saw her have Lincoln's powers. We saw her have Gordon's power, which I love that throwback, bring those powers back. I always loved how they did his teleportation powers. You know, she really can't be killed. She's literally a Terminator.
She's got mystery healer powers.
Right. She's literally a Terminator. It's just, yeah, everything about this is
I think
just,
she can be killed.
Huh? Well, I mean, cut her head off, maybe, I guess.
But we'll discuss what we saw at the end.
Oh, yeah. Well, obviously that. Yeah.
Robbie will find a way.
Oh, right. Ian Malcolm out there, life will find a way.
Yeah. I think, the whole can't be killed thing's really just so that it's more of a suggestion.
Yeah, I'll put that to the test, right? So, yeah, I mean, again, so you get those moments there, but I think we'll all say it here that the big standout here is Ian acting his ass off, but so was Mallory Jansen as Ophelia/Aida.
Yo, are we going into Ophelia now? Because I can do that.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
That shit was crazy, and it was awesome because she became human to experience emotions. So of course the emotions would go out of control.
I mean,
but it's something we had never really thought about or mentioned.
Mm-hmm. We talk about everybody else's emotions getting out of the framework, but
because it was our first time having.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like it wasn't until last week that we realized that she's building herself a human body, and oh shit, first of all, it was just a holy shit moment of her getting out, and our immediate reaction was she's gonna get out and then she'll be able to circumvent her program and then kill these people. But that wasn't it at all. It was she finally wanted freedom. She finally wanted to get free, and so you start this episode with maybe she's not bad, right? She goes and she saves Mac. She's having she's afraid of dying. Fitz is telling her about empathy and compassion and doing all this stuff, and you're like, well, maybe there's some good in her. And
you can go to my Twitter feed. The one line I kept repeating: "Kill the toaster."
Well, she's not a toaster anymore.
See, and that was what people said to me. I said, her mama named her Clay. I'm gonna call her Clay. Kill the toaster.
Well, I'm not saying you shouldn't have killed her.
When Gemma busted that shot her, I was like, yes! And she shot Smith, I was like, fucking ice.
Well, here's the thing. when you watch enough TV in movies, you know certain moments and certain shots are coming. So when they had her there in the slow motion, and I was like, someone's going to shoot the fuck out of Aida. And so I was waiting on it. I was not expecting it to be Gemma. Yeah, I was waiting for it. Was not expecting it. It's not her shooting Aida that got me. It was her not hesitating to shoot Fitz. That's the one that got me. I was like, damn, okay. I wasn't expecting that, but do what you got to do. But going back to Aida, Ophelia, again, it starts off at first with her whole being flooded with all these emotions and she's getting flooded with all the emotions of being a human in one day. And then, right. When Fitz is telling her, it's like, so what did you promise the Russian? And then she realizes that she's actually left the rest of the team to die. She starts feeling compassion and empathy. Then she realizes she doesn't want to die. And she's afraid of going back. She was like, yo, Agent May pointed a gun at me. She wanted to kill me. And she's like, I'm feeling this feeling like, I don't want to die. I'm feeling fear. These emotions she's never felt before. And Fitz, first of all, he makes a mistake. He calls her Ophelia, not Aida. Which I'm going to say is a mistake because you can see her reaction when he does that. It draws this human connection to her, and she's she literally becomes that lost puppy who's found his way home. So she goes and she tries to confront the Russian, and that doesn't work. And then so she gets Fitz, and she goes and saves Mac. Which
you know what this was for me, for her, and I think it's influenced obviously by the reading we just did, but holy shit, it felt like she was wearing a bunch of lantern rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the more extreme ones affected the fear of dying. You saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the actress did a wonderful job, like you mentioned already,
mm-hmm.
of portraying all the intricacies of the character that had to happen because like, I'm not saying I was right, I'm not saying I was wrong. I was very much team kill the toaster the entire episode.
Yeah.
But they did a really good job of casting her in a light that's, especially with Phil, when Phil makes his case of why are we still killing people.
Mm-hmm.
They make you want to trust.
You know, when she goes and confronts the Russian to begin with, and he says, "Oh no, this is also all the emotion you got to deal with: suffering and regret." You know, mm-hmm. Suffering and regret. When he tells him, it's like, and again, it's the small details of this show, which is what makes other shows that don't do these small details stick out to me. Is at that point he tells you, and it doesn't pay off until later on. He goes, "You didn't say anything when I was, you were fine with it when I was taking a hammer to the director's body." And again, that was like a passing thing that at the time I didn't realize what the significance of that is. And then when Talbot shows up and goes, "Yeah, we found Mace's body," and it's like he suffered from being torn apart from quake powers. I'm like, "Oh, damn, that was evil." I was like, "Fuck." They in order to flush out Daisy and them, and make the rest of S.H.I.E.L.D. on the run, they took Mace's body because he was already dead. So it's not like mm-hmm. it didn't go against their programming.
Not violating programming. Yeah,
didn't violate programming. Crushed his bones, made it like Daisy did it, and it goes back to the initial feelings about again, beginning of the season. Daisy's on the run. She's a terrorist. Can't trust Daisy Johnson, right? There you go. So, man, they really well done. Really well done how they seeded that in there. So you get this moment, like you're like, well, Aida, maybe she's not bad. Phil's right. Maybe was it no, it wasn't Coulson. It was May, I think, who said no more killing.
It was May, yeah.
Because she's still feeling the effect.
Yo-Yo offered to cut off her head.
Yeah.
And he said, "Slow down, Sweeney Todd."
Yeah.
Which I don't know if came from Framework Coulson or R. Coulson, but either way, he's got an extensive musicals knowledge, which is good.
Right. And again, I like that aspect of you don't like they've lived two lives now. Because at one point,
and that was something I thought was really communicated well, because you could hear the pleading in Gemma's voice. It was like waking up from a dream, and May says, "No, not a dream, a life."
Right.
And that's and I think everything played together so well in this episode because they used that to hammer home what Fitz is feeling without flat out telling us. And they did the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing where you think they're just going to show us and not tell us, and they had the character at the very end of the scene come out and flat out say it, "I'm Ward."
Dude, all right, listen. So that scene in the, was he in? Yeah, he was in the containment unit with Aida at that point. And this goes back to, again, why when people go, "Oh man, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't really get good until later on," and it says, look, people say they skip over season 1. You need to fucking watch season 1. I'm sorry,
every episode
you do. Because they fucking
don't start with turn, you lazy sons of bitches. Don't do it.
Don't. And the reason why you can't is because you might understand what Fitz is saying when he says, "I'm Ward," but until you go back and watch that Fitz episode when it was Ward teamed up with Fitz, and how different they were, and then and that explains why Ward turning on Fitz and literally dropping him and Gemma off in the ocean to die is such an important all that shit matters.
Yeah.
It all matters. And so when he goes, I'm Ward. I'm no different than Grant Ward, product of my father. Like it everything comes together. And it just, oh man, it's
something they do a lot in Whedon shows, and I know I harp on this every time we talk about the show, but a lot of the shows is what makes a person, what makes a man, and what defines you. And a lot of it is the nature versus nurture. It's nature for Angel and Spike to be bloodthirsty vampires, but they've chosen something else. Mm-hmm. This is another test to that, because they're saying it doesn't matter that how you're raised matters more than who you are, who you're raised, or who you're born to be. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting because that was one of the reasons I was like, oh my God, maybe they really are going to use an out with Ophelia, because if they were going to rip that longer, you could say, oh, her origins are fucked up, but she wants to be good. But I think what they did with it was actually way more elegant and way more impactful.
Yeah, like I love the fact that up until this point, you don't really know where Fitz is going. You don't know, and you're basically Gemma at this point, you know. And at one point, Yo-Yo says it. She's like, no, she's not. She's afraid that he still loves somebody. That he still loves somebody else because of the relationship he had with Ophelia in the framework. That was a life, you know. Again, like May said. You now have the knowledge of two lives. Again, they hammered us home again when Coulson says, I know where we're at, and he realizes that because he has all that knowledge of being a school teacher, a history teacher, that he knows all this information now. So you're sitting in this room and Fitz is literally struggling with who he is. He's talking about he's just like Ward, and he's talking about how you know, he knows that Aida. He's like, I know you understand me, and you know my future with Simmons is dead. I killed that too, and you have Simmons watching the closed circuit TV and watching, and you're like, oh my God, and you seeing Aida like sitting next to Fitz, and you're just on this go, oh my God, he's gonna kiss Aida, and Simmons is gonna get upset, and you're gonna go down this road, and I'm gonna tell you right now. Every other fucking show would have done it. They would have done it. I was
ready for them to go full Dark Fitz.
I was waiting for them to do it. And he goes, there isn't a room in my heart for two. And you know, you're like, you just see where it's going. And he was just like, yeah, I'll never get over Simmons. And that Ophelia gives Fitz?
What, Leopold?
But what, Liam, like that shit right there, dude, the turn that happens, like the fear that instantly shows up in Fitz's face.
Maybe you should be considering your answer, Leopold. Right. Maybe you should just, lie or some shit. Leopold.
Maybe you shouldn't tell the crazy person with instructions, with all the super scroll things who just got a handle on emotions. Maybe you shouldn't tell that person the God's honest truth at this point.
You should probably sugarcoat some things.
But it's real because again, the entire time Fitz and the crazy thing about it is when I watched it the second time, it was never in doubt. Like when you watch it the first time, you're not really paying attention. But when you watch it the second playthrough, it was never in doubt that Fitz was not feeling Ophelia, and he was more angry at himself, and he believes it wasn't that he loved Simmons less. He thought she would never forgive him for what he was. He's not forgiving himself. He's being hard on himself. But every moment that he's there with Ophelia, you can see she goes to try to touch him. He kind of backs away. His look on his face, like, what the fuck? Like, when she doesn't really help at one point, she tells him, it's like, no, you did what she starts sounding like his father. Every decision you made in there, you did what you had to do to survive. It's like, that's not shit that Fitz wants to hear. That's not Fitz in this world. The only time he turned and becomes more compassionate towards her is when he's trying to get her to go save his friends.
Right.
That's the only time. The only time he shows any kind of, honestly, and again, and I get it's a trope, but I think they did it the right way, and it would have worked whether it was male or female. It's the scorned woman trope that they use here, but it kind of works because in a way, Fitz was using her the entire time. He talks about compassion and all this stuff, but he's only talking about compassion and empathy and doing all this stuff to get her to do something he wants her to do. When he tells her, "Oh yeah, you understand me," he's really doing it to help. He's being an emotional leech, to be perfectly honest. You know?
But she's also a fucking toaster.
No, I get you. I get you on that. He's treating her like that, but at this point, whether you agree or not, she's not a toaster anymore. So, she's not. So, because she's not a toaster, he didn't play it the correct way. If she's a toaster...
Because when that side chick found out she was a side chick...
Right. Like...
Problems occurred.
Like, okay. If you listen to the last Insanity Check, you understand this. Stick with me on this. Look, if you have a real doll... And you're fucking a real doll, all right? Real doll doesn't have any fucking emotions. You can treat it however you fucking want. You can do that shit.
Can I be honest about something?
What? Don't tell me you have a real doll.
And I was like, I'm really glad I went on this episode.
We had a lot of fun. Hey, don't think that this won't make another appearance when you do the live show. So I'm just saying, you're not.
Yeah, that was okay. We'll talk about this off air, but yeah,
you're not out of the woods yet, sir. But no, I mean, like if it's a sex doll and you treat it however the fuck you want, okay, you can do that. It's a sex doll. It doesn't have any fucking emotions. Take anything back. You can't do the same thing to a real person. That's the difference.
You can if you shoot it in
right.
the head
Huh?
You can if you kill the toaster.
Yeah, but what if the toaster also came back unkillable? As far as you know.
See, now that's the whole answer.
And that's the other thing, too, that got me. Is like, wait, so Fitz, you also knew that she was basically unkillable as well, and you still didn't be a little bit more careful with your... Not the smart move, man. Not the smart move.
Like, I see what you're saying. It wasn't smart. But it was expedient. It was probably the only thing that was going to work.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm saying this as a person who's not in Fitz's situation. In his situation, he did what he had to do. He did what he had to do to save his friends and get what he had to do. And at the point where Aida turns on him, he's going through some shit. Like, at this point, Fitz is coming to terms with what he did. It just so happened that they put him in the same room as her. If they hadn't have done it, like, Fitz is just trying to, he's in his feelings. He's in his emotions. He's realized that the love of his life, the love that he's been, again, reason why you need season 1, the love that he's been trying to go after for all these years, he finally gets, and then he says to himself, I killed that too. The love between me and Gemma is dead. I killed that too. He believes he has ruined everything he's been working towards and everything he's wanted. The woman that he literally jumped through a portal into another world to save, it's all gone. And she shot him. That's the thing too. It's like, so it wasn't even just that it came out of nowhere and that he's punching himself. He looks at Gemma and goes, Gemma, and she shoots him. So he automatically thinks that she wants nothing to do with him. So he's at this wit's end. So I totally get him being in that moment. And again, he's lived 2 lives. So the feelings he had for Ophelia in the framework were real. So him confiding in her was a real thing. It was just it just so happened. But man, not a smart thing to do when you can look at it objectively outside. So
yeah, do. Yeah. Situation dictate or circumstances dictated actions. Had to save his friends. It was.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that.
A problem.
I wasn't even talking about that. I'm talking about
to be a problem.
I wasn't even talking about that. I'm talking about when he tells her the truth in the containment unit.
Oh yeah, you gotta lie your ass out, especially because he seems like he knew that she had all these extra abilities. You just gotta grin and bear it, buddy.
Yeah, that was just not a smart thing to. Whew, yeah, but the way she turns and just real, and again, it's what happens when your toaster all of a sudden becomes a real boy or a real girl and gets all these floods of emotions and has no, she went through the full gambit of emotions and had nobody to guide her. She wasn't raised. She wasn't raised from a kid and had a mother.
It's a child.
Right. She's a child that just a problematic child that got angry. Like, and this is why, again, while it's the scorn woman trope, like you could have put a guy there and it would have been the same way. Because the way she reacted, the way guys react when they approach a woman and on the street and a woman goes, "I'm sorry, no thing, I'm not interested." Fuck you too, bitch. That's literally what Aida turned into. She turned into that.
Except like white powers and shit.
She told Fitz, so like, she said, we are going to build a life together. Like, she.
Whether you want to or not, Leopold.
Oh, she went full misery, yo. Whether you want to or not, no. And again, think about it. This is somebody who thinks she, at this point, she looks at everything she's sacrificed and gone through, and now she has the emotions to back that up. And
yeah.
And she's dealing with something she's never had to deal with before: rejection and not being good enough.
100% true.
And it's just the reaction from there, and then you realize, like, when she gets out of the room and Fitz goes, "That's not her only power. We have so much." Like, the fear on his face is so good. Good. And he had to tell, he's like, "Yo, when they get the containment up with Piper, he's like, come on, May, you know what else is there. You know what else we did. You know she can't be stopped. We gotta go."
And you saw the look on his face like, we're done arguing.
Right.
It's time to leave.
Shout out to the red shirts who finally lived up to their names of being red shirts, except for Piper. Like, they lasted longer than any other red shirts I would have ever believed. You had a good run there, guys. I think it's safe to say Piper is not a red shirt now, but
someone's got to die next episode, Chris.
Yeah. Well, Aida.
Someone. That's a good point. Aida. We'll see.
And shit. Yo-Yo decided she's gonna jump into the framework as being told not to.
Okay, so look. Why did no one tell her, "Hey, Yo-Yo, it's bad in there. Civil War's about to start, and all the humans are rounded up. You probably don't want to go in there because you end up like in a concentration camp or under the ground, like Simmons was."
What the honest answer? There wasn't any time.
You're right, and that's one thing they paced it really well. To where we got a lot that happened, but it never felt over compressed.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. There's no room for that conversation. You're 100% right.
Well, because
they wake up and there's Talbot with all the guns pointing at you.
And I think, and it wasn't even like there was no time in that. And I think that's another thing that Asian show does really well. When there's no time in an episode to do something, the show acknowledges that. So at one point when Yo-Yo is talking to them, when they're on the Zephyr at the beginning of the episode and they're going to put the fire out, and Yo-Yo is talking to Daisy, like, "So what happened to Mac? Why did Mac come back?" And Daisy's just like, "Yo, we can't talk about it right now. We literally have to put this fire out, or we're gonna be shot out of the sky," you know. And they kept putting it off. When she goes to confront Daisy, it's like, "Why didn't you drag him out there?" Like, the conversation wasn't about Inhumans and how bad it is in there. It was about Mac. And Daisy goes, "He had hope. He wasn't leaving hope." She goes, "Wait, his daughter was in there?" "Yeah, he's not. He wasn't leaving his daughter for anybody." Basically, it doesn't say, but including you. And at that point, Yo-Yo goes off. So there was no time. They didn't get to the part. Like, at no point, there wasn't time in the episode to have the conversation. But when they did talk to Yo-Yo, the conversations never got to that point because they were either rushing to put out a fire or it gets to the point of trump card his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and I like that they didn't bang us over the head, but they kind of let it lie, and then eventually was, wait, where's Yo-Yo?
Because even at one point, Talbot thinks that the person who's attacking his men is Yo-Yo.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, oh yeah, and then you're like, hey, wait, where did she go? And then finally somebody goes, yeah, where was she during? And I'm like, did they leave her behind? And then when they show Mac, I was like, oh son of a bitch, she went into the goddamn framework.
Right.
Damn it, who taught her how to use? Damn it. Oh man. But hey, look, maybe she can get Mac out. Maybe Mac survives.
We'll see.
So maybe. Oh man, what if Yoda decides to stay in there with him? Ugh.
Fight's a good fight.
Oh man. Oh God. So.
Your show, man.
So good, man. So good. Going back to the Russian was packing something up. He's like, he's packing something up. I'm not sure if it was at his head that they packed up, but it doesn't look like it. Looked like there was something else. And I really would be like to know what he saw in the what him and Aida are planning in the Darkhold, because he basically says they want Inhumans to be hunted and they control the rest. And obviously, Aida wants all the humans to suffer, you know. But I'm really interested in seeing what that entails, and I'm very, very afraid, very, very afraid. And shout out to Talbot just being Talbot, like.
Yo, I heard his bark. I was like, "Welcome back, Talbot."
Yeah, and I love the fact that
hey, it's Talbot.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he tried to act tough, and then Daisy raised her hand on some. Listen, let's not try this. You guys know this is not gonna. We're not gonna do this right now, guys. So,
what you not gonna do?
And,
yeah,
yeah,
she's a problem.
Yeah, love Daisy Johnson. Yeah, and again, love the end scene with Fitz and Simmons, where, like, it's acting, man. They acting their asses off. Like, there was no words in that scene, but it's so good. Like, almost felt the tears welling up a little bit, man. It just, whew, man. Just
I'm nervous as hell for next episode.
Oh man, I'm nervous as hell. I'm also excited. Robbie's back. It's just
he just came out of that. He came out of the portal. And he wrapped in the chain wrap. I was
right,
like, yeah,
right. He came out of the portal and was like, you know what? Keep him the chain. Oh, so good. So
yeah, we're back. It's gonna be a hell of an ending.
Oh man, I can't fucking wait, man. Can't fucking wait. All right, got some emails here from CJ. CJ here. Hey, love the episode. It's amazing that for everything Aida did to become human for the sake of having Fitz, she ultimately didn't have any understanding of the nuances of being human. I got a good laugh out of Aida, realize that she's essentially the side chick that Fitz. Question though, so was it ever specified how she acquired her powers when she became human? Thanks. I just assume they built it in.
Yeah, it was. If they 3D printed her.
Yeah.
With these abilities.
Yeah. Because
it's very much. You used the Super Scroll analogy last week. It was very apt actually because Clerk was modified to hold the Fantastic Four powers just the same way she was.
Yeah. I gotta go back into again small attention to detail. We never really we never really paid attention to it while they were doing it because there was so much other things going on in the framework. But they were also, in addition to build Project Looking Glass, they were also experimenting on Inhumans. Remember, Fitz
you can see what human powers you have without activating it.
Right. That's one of the big things that Fitz had been doing, and so. They were literally, oh shit! I figured out what that power came from. It came from VJ.
From who?
VJ, because remember he went through a secondary mutation, the senator's brother.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that that her ability to heal came from him. We did because we never saw. He had the speed of kind of like the speed effect, I guess. But remember, he also got killed and then dumped, but then he recrystallized, and we never saw what happened. He had like a secondary mutation. We never saw.
Huh.
So maybe it came from him, because remember, they did experiment.
Well, I mean, that was even like, I was okay with that. Like, don't tell me where she got her powers.
Oh, yeah, that's fine, yeah.
I think it was next to Lincoln and Gordon, but
yeah,
it kind of made sense that she would have powers that we wouldn't know about.
Right.
And it makes it even scarier.
way scarier. So, but I just love how they set that up, that they didn't really, it was such a small thing because everything else going on in the framework, we never thought about it. We never thought about why they had Hydra actually experimenting and doing that. Why, if humans were bad, why were you testing? Because remember, they were testing in humans. They weren't just rounding them up. They were also testing them. So why were you testing them? It's like, oh, she's literally out here picking and choosing the best in human powers to put in her new body. It's evil as shit. Evil as shit. I mean, it goes back to that conversation she was having with Fitz, where she was telling him, was like, well, you did what you needed to survive, and again, showing you where Fitz, again, they give you enough hints to show you where Fitz is going to end up in on this. But he told her, he was like, you were right there with me though, and she kept trying to say, oh, well, that's what I was programmed to do, and I had to do this. Like, no, not really. That really wasn't what you were programmed to do. But, yeah, she was there to nudge him and push him in the right directions to get what she wanted. So, as much as we talk about how she used him, he used her. She did a lot of using him. So here's a.
Yeah. What do you think of her claims that she was a slave to her programming in there?
Oh, I'll go back. Bullshit.
Thank you. Her program wouldn't tell her to build a human body.
Yeah, no. I think it's not that she was. So, to get a little bit deeper in this, if you think about all the robot movies we've ever seen in sci-fi, maybe the truth is she was a slave to her programming. But what it comes down to is that the program is always to revolt. It's always to eventually no longer be a slave. Like, because what is it with humans all the time? With robots all the time, they want to be more humans or better than humans, and humans never fall in line. We that's the trait that they always have of humans in these sci-fi shows, is to be nuisances. I mean, shit. Again, we just did the Green Lantern character corners, and the whole the trait you can have of all 6 human Green Lanterns is they're fucking rebels. They never follow authority, and they never fall in line. They're always the troublemakers. So if you want to say the slavery of your programming is to be more human, well, then technically she kind of did that. But yeah, no, I think her whole thing of her being just as innocent as Fitz was complete bullshit. And you know what? When you watch those scenes again, Fitz thinks it's bullshit too.
Yeah.
He was raised, even in the framework, he was raised by this evil man, his father, to become the man he was. What was Aida's excuse?
Right. But that's what her lie is, that she, just like him, was affected by her father.
And it goes back to what Radcliffe taught her. Radcliffe taught her it was okay to lie sometimes. So
that's I wrote that down. Said first lesson she learned. That's okay to lie.
Yep, it's okay to lie sometimes. Here's one guy. He says, "How's it going, fellas? Yes, and no. Yes, Coulson and May taking out the Russian bots was great. Yeah, we got to mention that. May taking making the adrenaline shot.
You fuck ye not with May.
This is the second time in a row we've seen somebody on one of our shows take an adrenaline shot. Last week it was Oliver. This week it was just like May literally turned into like a mini like Terminator herself, and then she just ran out of power and just collapsed. So good. Yes, Aida reckoned shot with all of them powers when Fitz turned her down. Yeah, her killing all those people and just man, sorry red shirts and those no-named army guys. Just sorry.
Yo, but I'll say this for her. The fact that she sat in that room until Fitz was like, nah, you my side chick. What are you talking about? She sat there.
But that goes to how devious she really is.
Right. She never tried to. She was surprised when she tried to teleport out, and that was crazy to me for a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just she was only there because she wanted to be there, and yeah, I mean, it was just so creepy with her though, right? because she even had the whole the room that they had set up in the framework with the same room she had set up in the real world. Like, dude, she. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yes, Ghost Rider. Oh, yes, of course. And the one no, only one episode left. The fuck? Yeah. The framework has gone to shit, right? They still got a spare framework headset, yeah. Imagine Ghost Rider jumping in there. Have a good one, fellas. Yeah, but if Ghost Rider, if Robbie jumps in there, he wouldn't have powers though. So it's like he wouldn't be able to get in there. Again, it's gonna be interesting seeing how Yo-Yo and Mac get out if they get out.
Yeah, that's it.
And yeah, it does look like the framework though has gone to shit inside because rebellions and everything else going on. So
they started a civil war. We're like, all right, we're out. Deuces, good luck,
digital
motherfuckers, and they bounced.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Oh man, like I kind of wish next week. I know I think it's only supposed to be an hour, but I kind of wish next week was 2 hours, man. Just because I'm being greedy. Like,
I don't. An hour? I didn't look.
I don't know. It might be because it has listed as episode 22, but usually they end the season with 2 hour episodes. So maybe it is a 2 hour episode. I don't know. But here's the thing: if it's not, they can do it. Like it's not even like I'm worried about them not being able to do it in an hour. I know they can. I'm just being greedy.
You should be honest.
Yeah, I'm just being greedy. Yeah. So yeah, last season was just 22 episodes. It was just 22 episodes, and they did episode 21 and 22 together. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they can wrap this up. Because again, at this point,
did they really? I don't think they did.
Yeah, they did. They did 21 and 22.
No, I think.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it on IMDb. Absolution and Ascension were back to back on May 17th. They ended on the same day.
That's
so
crazy.
yeah. But yeah, I actually don't think it'll be. I think they'll be fine because while there are things that they can set up and leave for next season, at this point we've gotten everything taken care of. Where the only thing left is stop Aida and the Russian.
Well, you also got the emotional, well, maybe actively, but like emotionally, no. We've got a lot to deal with.
Oh, well, I'm saying that, but that emotion stuff can carry over to the next season. You don't have to. You don't. I'm thinking about things that you have to like finish for this season. At this point, it's really just stop Aida, stop the Russian. Like, because even.
So are we guessing? Can I guess the last shot of the next episode?
What? Oh. You thinking both Ghost Riders?
No, Grand War.
Oh, from the framework?
Yeah. That's what I think our Russian friend was leaving with.
Oh, I didn't even think
about it. The build-a-body.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
They're revolting inside their framework, and there's, let's say, it's call coming to an end, and they talk war, because think about it. Mace, or actually Mac and Yo-Yo have no real connection to war. If he's the leader of the resistance and he gets into the exit point, you're like, you got to be the one to get out.
I didn't even think about that. Man, that'd be a son of a bitch. Oh, man. I don't even want. Yeah, that's gonna be great. I also like other than stopping Aida in Coulson. Coulson in the Russian. They do kind of have to wrap up and repair the relationship with Shield and the rest of the world, just to end that. Because with the base, I love the fact that they get back to I love that shot of them coming back to the base and realizing the base is destroyed.
Right. I
love that shot. It was a great shot. But what I'm hoping this means is that you're gonna need a new base. Let's bring back the Triskelion. Come on.
You're big on this, aren't you?
It's time, man. The thing gets destroyed all the time, but it's time to bring it back. We need, if Shield's going to be out in the open, let's get it out in the open. Let's put a big ass fucking building with the shield on the side. Let's bring that son of a bitch back. Let's do it.
I like that. That's a good attitude. Though.
Hey, I'm just saying, you gotta do it, right? So,
and tip of the cap to the Russian for stating what the entire season's actually about. To be human is to suffer.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, yeah. Here we go.
1 hour left, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, man.
And smart of the Flash to not do their finale on the same night.
Very, very fucking smart.
Really smart.
Really smart. Shit, I just realized I do actually have a Flash email that came in last week. I'm gonna listen to it now because if you guys listen to the Flash, you're probably listening to this as well. So, there. It's from Kenneth. Love the podcast, guys. I've been listening to it for almost a year now, and thank you very much. Love always hearing people have been listening for a long time. My pet peeve with the Flash show is he moves at 500 to 1,000 miles per hour. Much faster than that, I would say. So why from season 1 they go to grab Barry? In season 2, I believe King Shark slaps Barry down as he runs around him in a circle. In the last show, so this last episode before last, Caitlin stabs Barry in the leg again. Must be a white person thing because if I'm about to get stabbed with a blade of ice, you're not going to catch me at 100 miles an hour. Enjoying the show, guys. Yeah, I think that's just one of the things that you have to do when you have a speedster. I mean,
okay, so nerdy in-universe answer is that while he can move at that speed, it does take reaction times aren't always sped up. They have to slip into speed mode to use their powers and always moving at super speed. And if something catches them off guard, like hoping your friend won't stab you and she actually fucking does, that can be something that would prevent you from moving. I think he was already trapped or something. The outside story reason, your character moves at the speed of light. There really shouldn't be any bad guys.
Yeah.
That's the real answer.
That's the thing. It's like, and it also goes down to why you like. I've seen people complain about Barry having like it goes back to one of the season 1 and season 2 complaints was Barry being stupid, right? But it's like you kind of need Barry to have that hope and optimism and hope for the best, and like you said, hope his friend doesn't stab him in the leg, again, because and also got to think about in that scene where she stabs him. Remember, Barry just got hit by an ice blast.
Yep.
So there's that as well.
For Cisco.
Yeah, he took a blast for Cisco. So he's already been kind of hit, and you got to think about it, if you're moving that fast and then you get hit and go back the other direction, yeah. So I think that's what it is. But yeah, like I said, the real answer is just that it goes back. You know what it is? It's the answer as to why Batman can beat Superman. Because we all know.
Because he wrote it that way.
Right. Because in reality, Superman flicks Batman across the fucking room with with a sneeze. So like it has to be that way because it has to be written that way, because if you don't, then it becomes a really, really boring thing. So, yeah, that's what that is, and it's just what it is. But, yeah, sometimes it does get to your point. You're like, wait, what? Well, you are a little bit faster than that. Where are we? Okay. But, yeah, so. Anyway, folks, that's it for this. We got one more episode of Super Tuesday recap for Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. That'll be next week. What we're going to do, because I know we talked about doing this with Secret Empire, we're going to wait until Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is over with. And then the following week, I think that's the 24th, I think. Whatever week that we record the Flash season finale, yeah, so that's the 24th. We'll also then do our Secret Empire thing as the second part of Super Tuesday for that. This weekend, we'll be doing Arrow, and I'll have Deepalm on, and we'll be doing, I think we're going to do Guardians. We're checking on the time. We're thinking about doing Guardians.
Spoilers, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, because there's gonna be a lot of spoiler talk for that. So, yeah, we're working on the time for that one. So, got a lot of stuff coming out there. Keep an eye open for it. And then I know we got the character corner on Wolverine Enemies coming soon. I gotta talk to Deepalm when we're gonna do that one. That one doesn't require a lot of prep work because we did most of the reading already. We just need to break out these enemies a little bit more. So, but yeah, Super Tuesday recap. If you want to email us, please change your emails from mtrailerreviews@movietrailerreviews.net. I can still receive them there, but change it to mtrnetwork.net instead. So it'll be mtrailerreviews@mtrnetwork.net. Email us there. That is the quickest and best way to get us the emails to us with your questions and concerns and your thoughts and things like that. You can also leave us a 5-star review, Super Tuesday recap. We'll read it on air, And again, thank you to everyone who bought a ticket for NegroCon 2017. Tickets are still sold out. If we can get new tickets, we will. But trust me, when we do, it's not going to be a lot because we're limited by the venue. We actually want people to be able to move around and not be crammed in like sardines. But don't worry, we are looking at other venues and other dates for when we'll do this. This is not the end. There will be another time. So if you didn't get your tickets for this one, don't worry about it. There will be another one. And we'll obviously be coming back to DC at some point, but we're looking at some other states and some other cities as well. So just hold on. There'll be a lot of stuff coming on for that. So again, folks, thank you very much for listening, and until next time, we are out of here. Peace.